Hello friends, my name is Renuka and today we are making some Valentine Day cards. So if you don't watch my first video, go ahead and watch that one also. I will link it below. So these are the products I'm gonna use while we're gonna make the card. This is from the Spellbinders. You can use whatever you have in your stash. So nowadays there are very much craze about the big stitching dice things, so I thought why not, I should try it. So I use this stitch heart die from the kit, and I'm kind of making my own heart with a pink color, and it's very easy. I suggest you, whenever you use the stitch dyeing, use a little bit thicker or more LB's paper so that it will hold the thread and those small holes which we are piercing the threads gonna more stable in that way. So after finishing this, I decided to put all this stuff on the cards. I just want to show you that how it did. It's very simple, you can also do it, and if you don't want to do the stitch dies, still you can watch this video and you will get more ideas about how to make the Valentine cards. So I use these dies which came in the die of the month September 2022, and then I kind of mixing and matching the things around. So I use here a pattern paper. You can go ahead and choose any pattern paper, and then I'm just kind of putting glue here to make it more kind of frame kind of look too. And this when you stitch the hearts or stitch any project, so the stitching gonna make it really rough, so it will not hold with the thing of that paper very nicely. So rather than using the liquid glue, I'll suggest you to go with the foam tape. Then I decided to put here those love words, so you can see how beautiful they are. I already put using the VersaFine ink and cut out them, and then I decided to add the colors. So I gonna choose and take the colors from the this thing itself, and I will choose the green and pinks from the background. I'm just testing my colors there. Sometimes I have a swatch also, but I'm so lazy to put out that, and where is finding that, so I just use the scrap paper, and then I'm just adding the colors together, and one shade tone darker and one is lighter, kind of that, and then I will add more colors. I'm just coloring it. I'm using here a watercolor based markers. You can use whatever you have. If you don't have, you can use directly watercolors on it, and you can use alcohol markers also if you want. And then I decided to put this foam tape so that they're gonna stand out more on the card. So this is a very simple card. You can create whatever you have in your stash. Maybe you have a love die, maybe you have a heart shaped die, and you can create your background panel with any other dies, or you can just emboss the panel and use the same technique. That will also look nice. You can create a whole card with the more or like so you can use any other combination. Here I'm using the blue and greens and pinks, but you can stick to one, you can stick to pink, or you can stick to blue and greens also. And then just by changing the color, you can create a different cards, or if you don't want to create so many colors, you can use just a white paper and create a different layers with the embossing panel in the background, then puts a heart on it, and then this word you can just stamp it with any golden ink or hit emboss it, and then put all together. You can use the same layout, and that will also look very nice. So here I'm using the T scale to just line up those words, and the first word I didn't get that problem, but yeah, second I have. Then I'm kind of just changing the position of that foam tape behind the V, because I want to stuck it properly on it. And now voila, we finishes the card. So you can add more things like the embellishment. I bought this embellishment way before from the Dove Craft and Crafter's Companion, I think, the both of them, yeah. But nowadays you can get this kind of stuff on the scrapbook.com, or you can try Amazon also. But I like those pastel kind of colors of the sequins, which is kind of matching exactly with the card combinations here, that's why I choose it. Then after that I'll just put that card aside for drying. You can add more things if you want. I'm just giving you a little bit combinations. So this is the one card we did, and after this I'm little bit choosing the same little bit different combination, although I'm adding the pink. Here I'm using that embossing folder, and rather than putting the hearts in a vertical shape, I put them horizontally, and then I use the same die from MFT to use the scallop border as well as the scallop thing. And then I'm using this flower shapes which we put together to get the heart. This time I'm putting together for the heart, I'm just using them as a background and adding little bit more interest in my card. I already heat embossed these letters in a black, and then I just put this salty ocean. Now here I want to show you a different combination. I always say that pull back your colors from the card base or the pattern paper you are using, but if you don't want to do, see the which color gonna match and look nicely on it, and then you can use this color. And I just put little bit of that color on the card base front also, so that it will go more coordinated together, and that embossing folder catches the distress oxidings very nicely. And then I'm just putting them with the liquid glue. You can use foam dots here also. And so here the thing, you can use anything you have, like for the love, and if you don't have this, still you can use the same techniques for creating your card, that how I layer the things, or how you can mix the matching pattern papers as well as the normal paper. And then I'm just putting the glossy accent there too, that after drying those glossy accent, it looks more fluffy and shiny. So yeah, we'll feel that we add something for the card. And then I drop the card, voila. But yeah, I fix that and clean up everything. And then in real life, I don't know how much catches the light or not, but in photographs we can't, but in real life they do, and I really love. Then I decided to make one shaker card here, and this green is not usual combination for the Valentine's Day card, but yeah, I want to use that, and let's see how it turned out. And then I'm just using the acetate. I bought the big acetate sheets from Amazon to make a shaker cards, and then I just put the whole acetate panel behind that. Here I'm again using that MFT die to make that scallop border, and inside I use the same die which came in the large die of the month kit. But you can create this on your way, that you can put this basic dies together. So here these are some strips you can use, but I want to use these strips. So what I will use, this is my bill of the Michael. So I just remove the sticky paper, and the release paper I put this tape, and then I cut out it so that my scissors will not become more sticky, or it's like easily handled to do the things. And then I'm just gonna put them inside. This height is perfect for me. I don't want much bulk in the front. And then I will use little bit of liquid glue to basically put this whole panel on the main of panel of that. Now here you can go with the simple, you don't have to add this panel, you can add just little bit of flower, and you can put the word love in front of, you can use happy birthday, anything. But here I just want to show you that I use that frame, and for the delicate frames you have to use the liquid dye. And then I decided to put the whole panel on this dark green card base, which paper is from Recollections. Then I use a little bit of anti-static powder, a little bit here and there. I should use those in my hands also. So these are some sequins I have, and embellishment, and I'm gonna put everything together, like a little bit of colorful things. This is from Spellbinders. Some of them are in my stash. I was like going crazy with it. I put red, iridescent, everything inside, and they're going to shake very nicely together. And then I just put the whole panel on the thing. So this time it's lined up very nicely. Sometimes it's not, and then I have to cut the whole thing, but yeah, it's okay. And then I just deciding to put these flowers on it. So this is the leftover from my last projects, but I want to create something with them and use in whatever I have in my stash, and at the same time I want to create something new. So you can keep the whole panel, which is like the stitch panel, we just stick together with the liquid, and you can put the flowers, whatever flowers you have, and you can create this card. Or you can create just a bunch of flowers in a heart shape, and that will also look nice. And then I'm just kind of snipping off that main die cutout, which is like same cardstock I use for the card base, so it gonna match together. And then I'm just cutting a little bit of these flowers to get more out of your dies. Sometimes you cut them, sometimes you do many things with them, so I just decided to do that. And I love us I love this thing, so I decided to put that. But you don't have to put any sentiment on this card. This is so much going on, you can skip that and you can write your message inside. So you can use this card versatile. You can use it for the birthdays, anniversaries, or thank you, or saying anything that you are the special one. So here I'm just figuring out the which flower arrangement I like at that moment. You can take a couple of photos after each thing, and then you can set with one thing. And if you want to do the mass production, that will really help you out, that how much you want to cut everything. But here I just change the position. Sometimes I like something, sometimes I like things are different. So yeah, I'm just tucking those flowers inside, and I still want to maintain that heart shape. I don't want to cover everything in that heart shape. I want to still see through that heart shape, that without seeing it people can imagine that it's a heart shape. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, then I'm just creating little banner to get more sturdy for that love us sentiment. And then I'm gonna put this strip just behind that banner, little banner, and then I will stick that kind of in the middle of the heart. And then you can see those small heart shapes embellishment which I pull out first together. You can buy this from, I think Spellbinders have those, yeah, and you can buy this from Amazon also. So I have this I have six of different types with them. And yeah, they are they use it for polymer nail embellishment, something like that. So yeah, I bought them a way before back, and the Spellbinders put there to put on the nails, but I never do that nail art. I didn't get the time to do it, so I now just decided to use them in my craft. So yeah, that is the card. I hope you like this card, and as I told you can turn that card in any cards. And definitely I'm using different kind of combinations here. So let's move on from the dark to lighter shades of the combination. Here I'm using a little bit of thinner paper, and then I will use whole background of that watercolor base which is already I die cut out. I don't want to see through this card, so I don't want to make the net out of that jali out of that card. I was just putting the whole thing together with the help of that paper, and I already stitched that the pink color thing, like the stitch heart, as I shown you before. And here I'm kind of working for my combinations, that which color I will want at this time. And you will ask that why you are not using your swatch. So yeah, this is the thing, I didn't make my swatch of this oxides yet, and sometimes I don't. I just see at that moment what I like, what I feel. And for particularly this card, you can just go with this embedded coral and it's gonna look so nice. Or you can go with this pickled raspberry color. You don't have to add any color, you can go just white and this. But I don't know, I want to add more colors at that time, so I decided to grab my distress inks also. And then I use those distress inks to put all the things together and kind of making the background for my card. So I decided to add a pink color, orange color, and the dry marigold color. So it is you can choose any colors you want. I choose this combination. I choose pickled raspberry, abandoned coral from the dresses oxides, and then I choose the marigold and the ripe parmesan from the distress inks. And then I put little bit on the heart shape also, although it's not looking that much, but it's kind of matching the thing. Then I'm kind of searching that which one gonna look good on this, the yellow or orange, but then I more towards the orange, and then I decided to put the orange background for this panel. And then I already chose the pre-folded card from Coordination, it's a white one. I just add that orange panel on the top of it for the card front, and then I will add these two layers on it. You can add the foam squares or foam dots to adhere this. I will choose the liquid glue. I don't want more layers on this card, but you can choose, and if you don't want to choose, you can layer or stack some of the cardstock there. I'm happy with this. And then I decided to put this love sentiment. This love sentiment I don't remember, but maybe it's from Hero Arts or the Paper Smooches. I don't remember it properly. I think it's from the Hero Arts. And then this completes the card. So this is the very quick card. You can do this in different colors, or you can make in rainbow cards. Definitely I'm gonna show one video in that I will show the same card in a different colors. That's gonna be a good idea to do that, so that people can see that how the card goes differently when the color changes and how it goes different impact. Then I just putting something inside to decorate the inside of the card too. This is the dies, like the heart. When we put two flowers dies together, it will form the heart. It is that die. And I'm just putting some of the like roses inside it, some of the flourishes inside this card, and this complete this 3 card as well as this 4th card. Then I don't want to stop here, then I just create another one. So it is like a very different kind of combination. I can say you can put this card to like in the masculine cards, these 2 cards, upcoming 2 cards. So I just put one panel and then I attach another one. Now you will get a different height effect here. And then I put these 2 stitch red heart shape. So for the stitching heart shape, I have already used the pattern paper. If you don't have the pattern paper, you can color your watercolor papers and then you can stitch them like that. I use the variegated one thread, and other one I use the pink, but it's your option. I just go that way. And then I decided to put this big heart inside so that I don't have to find a white gel pen to write inside the message. And then I just snip off the excess, so in that way that white coordinate with inside. Now you can go way ahead, you can color these. I just want to put it simple way, that how you can weigh. And if you put these heart shapes in a petal shape, so you can form a flower. Maybe the next video I'll show that. Now I use this tag die from Waffle Fibers and that love die from the same die of the month kit. And I use the Hero Arts new ink that came in the last month's kit. It's like a copper golden ink. And then I use pale painted and vintage distress ink to just color those 2 colors. I want to be like more in muted and neutral shapes for this card, more masculine card I want. So I decided to put that. And then I want to make kind of shaker kind of tag there with that love, but then I dropped that idea. And then I just pull one of the craft cardstock from my stash. It's already embossed by tiny dots, but if you don't have that, you can use any basic pattern to emboss your craft paper, and then you can go with it. And then I want to add something else, but what something else I cannot figure it out because it's already overwhelming. Then I decided to add a volume like heart shape on that O. So here I choose the vintage photo distress ink. I stamp those images with the ink, and that says you are the one to my one forever. And then I heat emboss it. So I use the vintage distress ink for like heat embossing, and then it's kind of giving that brownish golden color to me. And I use I did more than I needed, and I will show you another card in my next video that how we're gonna use that. And then I cut out this heart shape which is already came in a kit, and then I decided to put that here on the card front. And then I'm not happy with that tag coming out, so I'm kind of finding the another thing, what should I do. So I pull out this pattern paper. It is Christmas pattern paper, but you will get lots of plaided things here. If you don't have, you can create your own also, or you can just put a simple plain watercolor or normal printed pattern paper which having the love theme, or you can just gather all your love stamps and put them together and make your own background with that. I choose this paper. You can get this in lawn fawn. I have this from I think I have two of them. One I bought from the Michaels and one is from Photoplay, and I have one more which is having more lighted shades from lawn fawn. So yeah, you can choose any of this, or you can choose this kind of pattern paper or create your own. So whenever you put this die cut out on anything, it will change the effect and it will look different each time. Then I decided to stick with this red one to go like little bit traditional here, and then I just cut out the excess. I just sniff out all around it. You can die cut out the same tag shape and then you do that, but rather than lining up that thing, I just decided to cut out with the scissors. And then I'm gonna stick this heart inside that O, so you can see the O the same time that heart is popping from the O, and I really love that idea, that how it's look. And then I put it here. So after putting this, I'm kind of finding something in my stash but I didn't get, and then finally I found one washi tape which I put on the top and bottom, and I don't have that footage for it, but in real life that washi tips look so beautiful. Here the camera is not making justice to it. So I hope you like these projects and you got some ideas about the Valentine cards, and you're gonna inspire like something you want to make. So until the next crafty project, have a crafty life. Bye bye.